Summer's quest is over. Book 3 by Noshi.
A few drops of water on my face suddenly woke me as I heard a faint voice, my aunt's voice, periodically growing in my ears.
Summer! Summer! Hey Sammy! You there? Alive and awake? Yes, that's right. Girl, wake up slowly or you will have a severe headache. No! You suddenly fainted on the couch.
I feel okay now. What were you saying, Aunt Amber, about whether Mom met you or not? I said as I gradually woke up from my position to face Aunt Amber, holding my head as I winced. A throbbing sensation in my brain, but I was awake and listening.
First you relax, then I will continue,
she said. After a minute or two, I had a glass of water and she continued.
She talked to me once or twice and we haven't talked since. She rarely comes over to talk, but that is also mostly related to the market stuff or the latest prices on items.
Aunt Amber said before getting up. I said, the ladies' daily talk, got it. She laughed and said,
Is that what you teenagers call it? The ladies' daily talk? That is quite an inappropriate title to name it.
I just told her that it should be named something better than nothing. But under all this happiness and talk, a strange void filled the air. Something was crippling under my skin, begging to seek truth. An awkward wave down my spine dawned the reality on me, and I regained my sense as to where I was. In my aunt's house, talking about the past. Yes, that is right, I thought. No, but that isn't, is it? We talked for some time about my passion for cooking, my plans to open a restaurant, and her plan to take a course in baking. I told her to teach me once. She had mastered the skill. After I said goodbye with a basket of homemade cookies from Aunt Amber's kitchen in my clutch, I rushed home as fast as I could. Dropping the basket on the sofa, I ran to find Mom. She was upstairs, folding the clothes, and I rushed to hug her. Shocked, Mom smiled and said,
Oh God, happened!
Why didn't you ever tell me? I would have understood it well. I shivered.
Well, I don't know you too well.
She giggled. I asked if we could, all of us, at least discuss if my dream could still see the light of day. And that's when I saw that stare.
Once I say something, I think it's said loud and clear. I said no before, and the answer remains unchanged even if you know the why. So if you try to make me understand that your dream, your wish to go to that Chef Skills Academy overpowers my worries about the world, you should know that you are destined to be lost in the forest of self-discovery.
I tried to make her understand, but she would not listen to even a word. That evening, I decided to talk to Maggie to see if she would listen. When we spoke, I tried to make her understand how Mother wanted to study at the hidden Archival Science Academy. But she could not complete her studies. So why must we carry on such a dream-blocking tradition ahead? But of course, she too did not understand. Days passed, nights went, and weeks came and went, as if they were trying to wait for me to give up. What I was destined for, I did not know, until one day On the way home from school, a lady in a floral smock-type white t-shirt paired with skinny blue jeans walked up to me and exclaimed,
"Oh Lord, am I seeing this with my eyes or are they faltering? Is that winter right there?"
My face looked as if it had seen a ghost. I swallowed hard as I saw her. She was the most beautiful woman I had ever seen, just like my mom. Buried in my thoughts, I heard her again.
"Hello, miss. Hi there. You look just like my sister Winter. Are you a local here? And would you know where she lives?" That girl, she really left me desolated.
I took a moment to let this in. Then I asked, "Winter, what is her full name?"
"Winter Steven Terensky,"
she replied.
"It is kind of urgent that I have to meet her. Do tell me if you know my dear sister."
"I'm sorry, but, are you, I started."
"What?"
she queried, out of her patience. "Are you Miss Autumn Taylor?" I asked, and then I heard the scariest reply.
"Creepy. But you are right. I am Autumn Taylor, sister of Winter Terensky. Why? Is there an issue?"
"Come along, I shall take you to your sister," I said, hesitating.
"Finally, thank you,"
she said, exhausted from all the time waste. I hurried home with the strange lady who seemed to my aunt my back from the dead aunt. But I was bubbling with excitement inside. But somewhere I also had a weird tight knot in my stomach about this stunning lady. When I reached home, I led her to the living room and asked her to sit down while I called her sister. I went upstairs and found Mom cleaning her room. "Mom, there is a lady downstairs who wants to see you. She says she's trying to find her sister," I said. There was a gruesome expression on my mom's face.
"It can't be. It just can't,"
she murmured. She almost stumbled running downstairs. Seeing the lady, she fell to her knees and fell unconscious. In the hospital, the lady, my siblings, and I sat near Mom's bed, waiting for her to wake up. When she did, before any of us could react to anything, the lady pulled Mother into her embrace, and my mom, too, was engulfed at the moment. But she soon held back from the lady, who said,
"Hi, Winter. How are you?" "Good, but who are you? You cannot be my sister. She died years ago."
Mom trembled.
"I have a fairy tale full of secrets. Nobody knows what treasure it has. Hidden in its treasure chest, it has nothing but pizzazz,"
said the lady.
"Only my sister Autumn knows that poem. It was a special secret,"
said my mom.
"It is our special secret. Not a secret, I think, anymore though, because your children are here. But who is she?"
said Aunt Autumn, looking towards me. I proclaimed, "I am Summer Terensky, daughter of a sister. That is why you thought I looked like her." She gasped and held me tight and said,
"I am sorry, I should have known. But how are you here? How can you be back? Am I in some wild dreams? Someone please pinch me.
my mom said. Aunt Autumn instantaneously pinched her as she whined, all the while laughing.
Are you done, silly? Do you want to know what happened or not?
Exclaimed Aunt Autumn.
That is a long story, you see. Do you remember when Mom said there might be a twin of mine somewhere in the world? My twin kidnapped and kept me captive when I got my lead role in that film. Her name was Spring Taylor. She had been waiting for my first success so that she could take away my life and live it. She was a ruin. It was her whom you talked to and her who had died. One day, when she had come home in her almost unconscious state as usual, she left the key to the room I had been locked in. I took the chance and tried to leave the house. But it was the same day when you came home. I wanted to reveal myself, but if I had, I would risk my life and yours since she always had a gun tucked in a boot. I kept the key until Spring turned so violent that I had to hit her back one day. I rushed her to the hospital that day, the day you came. She could not survive. I was right there, but you were shocked that it was me. I couldn't worsen it. Years came and went, and each day I tried to find your address since you moved to town. I did get a number from Steven when he came to New York for his engineering project, but I wanted to meet you personally. One of my friends who worked in the satellite department helped me to find you somehow, and now here I am.
She finished. My mom, still taking everything in, said,
Oh my God, that is one thrilling story. But Steven knew and never told me. He didn't tell me. He knew about me, not Spring,
said Aunt Autumn.
Oh, is that so? So after all these years, what do you want now, Autumn?
My mom said. Aunt Autumn replied that she wanted to be reunited with the family and stay together. She also wanted us all to shift to New York so that she could have a degree in film production. Mom could complete her studies at the University of Hidden Archival Science, and that is when I said that I, too, wanted to go to New York to learn cooking at the New York Chef Skills Academy.
That is a very respected academy you have rightly chosen. I'm thrilled that my niece is passionate about an entirely new field different from archival science and the film industry.
Aunt Autumn explained.
Please think about it, Winter. Let me know if we should go ahead with it. I will live in a hotel nearby till then. You could live with us, Autumn. I'm sure there is enough space for one more person,
said Mom. We had a great time cooking, eating, and playing games at night. When we came home the next day, my mom called together the family and said,
I slept on the thought yesterday. We all have dreams to achieve, and since Steven died, we haven't had a chance to enjoy our life. After all these years, seeing my sister, my soulmate, well, brings me great pleasure to tell you all that there is no reason we shouldn't achieve our dreams and ambitions. I got to thinking, we belong here since we have lived almost our whole life. But what about where our future lies? Let bygones be bygones, as they say. In some way, there are some effects on us from our past. But that hasn't stopped the greatest of people from achieving their goals. When we make a decision, we must think if our decision helps us and others. Does it contribute towards our fellow citizens? Does it help the nation's development? Does it enhance our Mother Earth's state? Does it help to advance our country's technological advancement? And most significantly, does it make the situation better for the poor and helpless? We ought to go for it when we get at least 3 reasons as answers. We must believe in ourselves to make a difference in the world, which is what matters.
We were all overjoyed when we heard this. Our dreams will be soon achieved and I can't wait. This day was bound to happen. While my mom and I were packing my stuff in my bag, I realized something. And before I knew it, curiosity struck me. I went to Aunt Autumn's room.
Who is it?
Asked Aunt Autumn. It's me, Aunt Autumn. It's me, Sammy. I wanted to ask you something. Could you give me a minute? I replied. Suddenly, the door opened and a voice replied.
Yes, of course, dear. Come in. What's the matter?
I told her, Aunt, you said Aunt Spring was your twin that Grandma mentioned. Then why didn't you and Mom know about her? And why doesn't Mom think about your twin sister, since all 3 of you would technically be sisters, if I'm not wrong? What I mean is...
I understood what you're saying, Sammy,
said Aunt Autumn.
You want to know why she wasn't much connected to the family. She was a good person before. She had good grades, alive, friends and sisters. We looked the same. But what she had and I didn't was dissatisfaction. She was greedy for more. I had a best friend, she took her away. And I didn't say anything. She took my ring, which was passed on to me as the eldest daughter. But she thought she deserved it, since we both were the same age, so I said nothing. But when she came to my shooting set, I thought that was the limit she had crossed. That was the day she kidnapped me and my career. And that was the day we fought about the costumes. You see, she had no role in the movie, but as I said, she was greedy. Spring wanted to be the costume coordinator of the film. The job was to manage the costumes, how the producer should proceed with the scenes and which costumes would suit best. But we had a costume coordinator who was very good at her job, and I told her that it was okay and she didn't have to do it. That is when everything broke loose, cause spring is spring. She complained until the issue was taken straight to the director, who gave her 1 day to prove she was better than the person we had. She was satisfied, but Spring had the same authentic costumes altered with different colors the next day we arrived. We knew she wasn't a fashion designer. How could she do that? The director was outraged at this and at once told her off. She was told that this wasn't her job and she would better keep away. I was devastated to see my sister treated like that, so I went to her house to console her. Instead of expressing gratitude, she told me off. I was done at that point. As I was leaving her home, something banged on my head and I fell unconscious. That was the last I remembered, and then I was in my house. Yeah, so basically, she ruined herself to shreds.
I tried to understand what was going on. It was simply too much. I expressed gratitude and bid her goodbye. I went to my mom to ask if she needed any help. She told me to get a few buns and a fruitcake from Maria's bakery. I was on the road to the shop when someone held my hand and said,
"You read, Summer, you did it!"
I turned to see none other than Maria. She explained how she met Aunt Autumn and got to know about it. We walked over to her bakery, talking over the beautiful green landscape. At the bakery, she delightedly exclaimed,
"See, I told you everything would just go fine, didn't I, Sammy? Everything happens for a reason. No reason to lose hope ever. But I think it's time for I told you so. I told you so."
We talked a bit, and she told me she would open an outlet of a bakery in New York, where she would work as head chef. I was more than happy. We shouted in delight, resulting in weird glances from the customers. But we didn't care. Maria said getting the resources, staff and land would take some time, but the plan is in the works. I felt great about all this. Finally, the answers were in my hands and I could sleep like a baby at night. Just be baking and cooking and repeating. That's how it turns out. Believe in yourself, in the situation, and everything goes by smoothly. That's what I did, at least. Well, no, I know. I looked right into the answers. I wouldn't see the future, but I know I will do something I love. And that's what matters.